If you haven't heard of the free indie game Emily's Away, in a nutshell, it's a visual novel that takes place over a bite-sized replica of the classic Windows XP operating system. I'll get into the details in a second, but really, I'm not going to beat around the bush in this video. This game really crushed me. Like, I was a little baby seal when I started playing this game, and it just swallowed me up and killed me like a damn great white shark. I mean, I don't know if many other people feel as strongly as I do, and I bet most people watching right now are probably wondering, but why, Johnny? This game looks harmless to me. Isn't it just a fun little dating sim with a cool nostalgic facade? No, it isn't. This game gets pretty real when you dig deep and find its underlying message. So, let me tell you my experience with this game. Okay, so the game made a good first impression on me, booting up like an old PC with authentic old PC fan noises and PC sound effects. I thought the recreation of Windows XP was actually really well done, and it brought me back to when I had an aim in like the 6th grade. Anyways, yeah, no complaints at all. The game just plays out like a more traditional choose-your-own-adventure game, so, as you may expect, it gives you 3 dialogue choices to choose from, with each choice leading to different paths. You start the game as a guy at the end of his senior year of high school, and the game takes place over the next 4 years in college, with 5 chapters in total for the intro and for each successive grade in college. And your goal? You have the girl, Emily, who seems to be one of your good high school friends, but it's pretty clear that both parties have some romantic interest in each other, so it must be easy, right? No, it isn't. Girls can be hardasses, even the programmed ones on fake AIM accounts. Without getting into the nitty-gritty yet, my plight to get the girl lasted around 3 hours before I ultimately gave up. That means about 6 to 8 tries, all of which resulted in the same disappointing ending where you and Emily are just mere acquaintances. And this ending is completely disheartening. You begin the game as really close friends, and then, almost suddenly in the player's eyes, the human aspect to Emily's character is pretty much gone. She just starts talking in perfect grammar and only replies with short answers, and it's pretty evident that you basically have no relationship anymore. But the worst part? Look here, it shows some dialogue that would look like the best option, right? I should totally select this option. I mean, it's what I would say in this situation. I would just let out my true feelings to Emily so that everything could finally work out in the end, right?
Why? 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 Why?
The fact that your character doesn't have the balls to just admit his feelings is both saddening and completely infuriating. It further stockpiles an overall feeling of regret for messing up with your choices. You can't turn everything around anymore, and the game knows this. So after seeing this, I decided I wasn't going to let some game keep screwing with me. I was determined to get the best ending possible, and my competitive nature spurred me to continue trying. Alright, so after my first 3 unsuccessful tries, I began to get pretty frustrated with the game. I started to write down each dialogue choice to try and pinpoint exactly where I screwed up so that I wouldn't choose that option again. And I even recruited the help of one of my friends and had him choose varying options for me in hopes that maybe he'll get the good ending. This is bound to work, I said. I'm going to have to win at some point, right? I'd resorted to drinking my own tears and biting off chunks of my laptop. Hope was lost at this point. There was still no success after a combined, 12 attempts. My heart was in shambles. I felt dumb and inadequate. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't win over Emily, a virtual person comprised of lines of code. But a small piece of me still had some hope that I would eventually get it right. However, this hope was completely shattered after my friend Google searched how to beat Emily's Away. Johnny, he said, you're not gonna like this. When he told me the truth, I felt my chest sink. I looked away from my laptop screen with tears welling in my eyes. There was no way to beat it. The game's story is pretty much linear, and the sense of choice was all a damn gimmick. Alright, my reaction wasn't nearly that dramatic, but I realized that all those failed attempts were completely futile. The last 3 hours spent trying to get a satisfying ending? A complete waste of time. But that's not what left me in a weird state of silence for the next 3 hours. It wasn't that I was wasting my time, it was my realization that, well, allow me to be real for a moment, there's no good ending for a reason. The game didn't let me get the good ending, it didn't let me win because it's trying to tell me that I'm gonna have to grow up, and so is everyone around me, and there's nothing I can do about it to fix what will inevitably change. People are gonna change, hell, I'm gonna change, it's how the world works. In fact, the world around me at this moment is completely different from the world around me a year ago, or even a minute ago. And it's gonna be different a minute from now. And everything's gonna keep changing as I grow older too. I mean, as fads rise, other fads fall. As relationships are created, others will be destroyed. And as opportunities are formed, many will slip away. And Emily is Away brings this fact to light in obvious ways, but also in the subtlest of ways too. Like, if you look at each person's aim profile, they get progressively more and more different and mature as the years go on. Like this guy, Mike, begins as this chill surfer club guy and ends a serious douchey businessman. It was a subtle detail that you had to look for in each chapter, but it further points to the overarching theme here. Although change sucks, it's inescapable. As a junior in high school myself, I'm blessed to say that I'm having a really good time, and this idea that change is inevitable is, quite frankly, really scary. And playing Emily is Away, observing the relationship with Emily decline, observing opportunity after opportunity to win her over slip out of my character's grasp, observing the fact that chasing after Emily by manipulating choices is completely pointless because, after all is said and done, she's destined to change and lose interest in you. It's also crushing. By the end of the game, she wants to forget the past. She's moved on, while I, as the character, am unable to let go because I desperately cling on to the glory days of high school in which the future seemed so bright, and it seemed as though everything would work out for the best. This game really opened my naive eyes, and it made me realize how much I take my youthful days for granted. I mean, I look around now at all of the relationships with everyone that I've ever known, and I don't want to have to let most of it slip away as I grow up. But the scary thing is, I'm going to college soon, and change is coming faster than I even realize it. So it looks like I'm just going to have to face it head on, but for now, I'm going to live out my last year of high school to the fullest potential, and when change comes knocking on the door, I'll be able to embrace it. I'm going to be satisfied and ready to move on. Will I be sad about moving on? Yes, but I'll be ready nonetheless. So when all's said and done, Emily is Away has actually impacted me in a way that no other video game has really done before. And yeah, it sounds cheesy, but I'm serious. Some games have stricken emotional chords, some games have inspired me to create, but no game has ever given me such a slap in the face with reality before, and that's what I really appreciate about Emily's Away. And on that note, thanks for watching.